Yeah, I asked more questions to CTC and some more warnings are not included in there, so. And I asked him if there's not enough internet.
Satellite system. I don't want people to create so just
start and then they sign it somewhere.
Then I think we move on to all at one time.
Well, if it does get that.
Good morning, everyone. We're going to start this meeting by administering the oath of office. Mr. Lassie, would you please come down?
I would be just happy to.
Sounds like the price is right.
Come on down. I did $350.
Here you are. If you'd like to raise your right hand and read that to me, please.
I, Jim Lassie, do solemnly swear to support the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the State of Minnesota, and to discharge faithfully the duties of the office of the Babbitt City Council to the best of my judgment and ability, so help me God.
All right, I can get you to sign that. Good, and Mr. White, would you then please step down? Election.
Congratulations, you can sit by me for the next 4 years.
You're really the best chair here, you know.
Kind of unseen by everybody.
If you would raise your right hand and read the top paragraph.
I, Joseph White, do solemnly swear to support the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the State of Minnesota, and to discharge faithfully the duties of the office of the Babbitt City Council to the best of my judgment and ability. So help me God.
Okay, sign that. And Mr. Lassie, will you step down, please? Congrats. Raise your right hand and read the first paragraph, please.
I, Dwayne Lassie, do solemnly swear to support the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the State of Minnesota, and to discharge faithfully the duties of the office of the Babbitt Mayor to the best of my judgment and ability, so help me God.
Sign that, please. All right.
Thank you.
Here's your certificate, and you may call the meeting to order.
We state the time.
Yes.
9:02, we'll call this meeting to order. Number 2.
Anderson.
Here.
Hoheisel.
Here.
Lassie.
Here.
White.
Here.
Lassie.
Here.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I want to address something of note that probably should have been last month, but Mike Ryan chose to stand down as ambulance supervisor at the end of last month. And there's a couple noteworthy milestones that Mike hit that I think should be, or I feel should be recognized by the city and the public should be aware of. Mike joined the fire department in 1985, and as of right now is the longest standing EMT in the history of the Babbitt Ambulance Service with 38 years and still going, believe it or not. Anyway, he also is the second longest tenured fireman that there has been on the fire department, second only to Dennis Polio. And Mike has since retired from the fire department, but there's another milestone. 20 of his 38 years were spent as ambulance supervisor, which again is the longest tenure, or the longest time anybody has served as an ambulance supervisor for our ambulance service. I just wanted to get this on the public record because I think the public needs to be aware of it. Thank you.
Jay.
6, set voting order for 2023.
I'll move we establish the voting order alphabetically, alternating on a monthly basis with the mayor voting last.
Second that.
Discussion?
It's just been past practice.
Okay.
Isn't it in a rotation? Yep, I did say rotation.
But do you want,
Alphabetically rotating basis.
do you want it monthly or by meeting? Right now it's by meeting.
Well, all of it by meeting.
Okay.
I'm fine with that. Yeah.
Yep. Discussion.
Roll call?
Anderson?
Yes.
Hoheisel?
Yes.
Lassie?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Lossing?
Yes.
Number 7, designate official city newspaper. Can you guys hear me fine without the mic? Okay.
Oh, we cannot. No.
I'll repeat that. Designate official city newspaper.
Just shut your mic off.
Thank you, Jerry. There we go. Designate official city newspaper.
Much better,
All
thank you.
right, thank
I'll
you.
make motion that we designate the Babbitt Weekly News for the newspaper.
Second?
Make this all in favor, right?
After discussion, I'm just leaving out.
Just discussion.
Discussion? No discussion? Roll call?
Anderson?
Yes.
Hoheisel?
Yes.
Lassie?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Lossing?
Yes. Number 8, adopt resolution number 2023-01 designating. You have to keep pushing.
No,
Just
leave it on.
push it once, the red light will come on, now you're off. Oh, it keeps coming on, going on.
You're pushing the wrong button.
There you go.
Okay. So just leave it like that.
Yeah.
We'll start over. Adopting resolution number 2023-01 designating official depositories for the city of Babbitt and approval of the pledge to securities.
I'll make motion to adopt.
I'll second resolution 2023-01.
Discussion?
It's good the way they have it set up. so.
Do we have to name the official deposit?
It's on 2023.
It's on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Roll call?
Anderson?
Yes.
Hoheisel?
Yes.
Lassie?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Lossing?
Yes. Number 9, set council meeting dates and times.
If I could, I'd like to address the board members, council members. There's been a few things I've heard about that would adversely affect us changing the time. I just want to make a request and bring up a couple of things. The chief of police, after the election was over, approached me and said that it would be more convenient for him to have a 5 o'clock meeting as opposed to a 9 o'clock meeting. I know I'd heard maybe that they couldn't do that, but he clarified that they can. I don't want to speak for Tony as far as what he feels. I think with their flex hours, that would work for them too. And also, a lot of the members here that were here before, you guys had evening meetings when you had full-time jobs. I'm asking that because I have a full-time job, and my job hours are from 7 to 3, that you'd support me in changing the hours to 5 o'clock at night. The issue of the public doesn't really show up, to me, is an irrelevant conversation, because whether they show up or not, they're the ones that voted us in. If they don't want to show up, that's their prerogative, or their prerogative. If they don't show up, they don't show up. That's on them if they choose not to. But we have seen that when they have come in the evening time, some of them come up with some pretty good ideas. At least I saw 1-2 meetings ago where they came up with a solution to a problem with the recycling center and the hours for some of our employees. And also, as far as overtime goes, I've heard that could be an issue too. I think that we could make a motion that the office staff could do flex hours to not go into overtime if we had it at 5. I think 6 would be a little bit too late, because you would kind of have to do the overtime part if we did that. But I think 5 o'clock could work for everybody, and I appreciate support in that just simply because of the hours that I work.
Is that a motion, Joe?
That is a motion. I make a motion that we change the city council meeting times to 1700 instead of 9.
5 o'clock my time?
5 o'clock your time, yes, sir.
Okay. And that would be the first and third Tuesday of the month?
I am fine with the same dates, yeah.
Any further discussion?
Oh, we need a second.
Oh, sorry. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Second from Mr. Lassie. Any further discussion? There's no discussion? Roll call?
Anderson,
No.
Hoheisel,
No.
Lassie,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Lossing.
Yes. Appointing acting mayor.
This time I'd like to appoint Glenn Anderson as acting mayor for the city of Babbitt.
Second that motion.
Discussion? Not sure how this works. If we can have two motions, can't have two motions on the table. I would support appointing Jim with his.
You have a vote on the table, so you need to.
We have to vote on this, and if it
Before-
fails, then
Okay, thank you, thank you. Another discussion? Roll call?
Anderson,
Yes.
Hoheisel.
yes.
Lassie,
No.
Yes. It's me.
Lassie,
Yes.
White,
No.
Lossing.
No. 11, accept, oh, sorry, thank you, Paul.
Then
Motion carries. Item number 11, accept letter of resignation from Recreation Committee from Dwayne Lawson.
I'll make motion to accept the resignation letter for the rec commission, our advisory board,
Second.
with a letter of thanks.
Second, please.
You bet.
Okay. No action needs to be taken there, right?
So you say all in favor?
Just call for agreement on that. You can call the matter. And then if it's a financial matter, dealing specifically with the expenditure of monies, that should be done by a roll call. Otherwise, you could just ask for all in favor of a motion that's on the floor. So here you say who did the first, who seconded it, and then call for, you can then do discussion, and then call for all in favor.
What the motion is. Motion by Councilor Hoheisel, seconded by
Mr. Lassie?
Councilor Lassie. Motion passed.
Then, this will be discussion, and then call for it.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, none.
Did he ask for opposed?
No, he did not. You gotta ask both, you gotta ask all in favor, and then if there is one person opposed, we have to have a record of it.
Okay. Moving on.
Yeah.
Okay. Line number 12, appoint members of the council, term ending 12/31/2023 to the following committees, starting with the Public Works Committee. 2.
Street department, that's street department. So we need 2 sitting members in the street.
So I guess who's currently on it?
I am with Paul.
I'm not, no, it was Terry that was on there. You and Terry.
So I'd be happy to take the spot if the board is okay with that.
And do you want to be on there?
I'll stay on that one.
So, say Glenn and Joe.
You need to have discussion about it or anything?
No, you just appoint and then there
We're
should be a
gonna go
discussion.
down and do them all and then.
We can do them all.
Oh, then do a motion? Okay, we'll appoint Glenn and Joe for the Public Works Committee. Moving on to the Public Safety Committee, appointing 2.
I'm on there right now and so is Glenn.
I'd like to stay on there.
And I'd like to stay on there.
That will stay the same with Paul and Glenn on the Public Safety Committee. Personnel Committee,
I would like to be on there.
Your Public Safety Committee, you have one application for that?
Yeah, it's further on.
Oh, okay.
I'd like to be on the Personnel Committee also.
As would I.
you one of the committees that I would prefer to be on. Not so sure how it works.
I can withdraw. If it's just you two that want to be on it, then.
So who do we have? Paul?
So Paul and Dwayne.
Paul and Dwayne?
Yeah.
Works for me.
Okay. Councilor Hoheisel and Mayor Lossing on the Public Personnel Committee. Cemetery Committee, seeking 2.
I'm currently on there.
And I was currently on there.
Stay.
Yeah, I'll stay on the Cemetery Committee.
See Councilor Hoheisel on the Cemetery Committee, it stays. Parks and Recreation Advisory Committee, seeking 2.
I would like to be on that.
I would like to remain on there. As I would like to go on there as a council personnel, but I resigned as a community member.
Right. Works for me.
Okay. So Member White and Mayor Lossing on the Park and Rec. Library Board, seeking 1 member.
The mayor was on there.
Greg.
Library Board.
Oh, okay.
It was, Andrea was on there, so would you like that? Library Board?
Unless somebody else is interested in taking that, I would go on the Library Board.
It's fine.
Okay? So the Library Board. Planning Commission, seeking 1.
I'm currently on. I'll stay.
That would make the most sense to me.
Very knowledgeable.
Yep.
Well, thank you. Flattery will get you everywhere.
Planning Commission will retain Councilman Lassie. Audit Committee, seeking 2 and an alternate.
I would like to be on that.
Paul and I are on it.
Unless somebody else wanted to take turns.
I would like, Joe would like to go on there.
Right.
Would you like to be the alternate?
I'll be the alternate if they can't make it.
And so Culture, Lassie, Councilman White, and Paul is the alternate. Safety Group, seeking 1.
I am currently the group.
What is, can someone explain briefly what the safety group is? What is?
Well, this has to do with working conditions, and Debbie used to handle this. She went to safety meetings,
Okay.
and if there was anything that came up, we discuss it, but it's pretty routine stuff.
She went to educational safety meetings, or she went to safety meetings within our?
within the area.
The city contracts a company called MMUA to conduct our safety trainings to be OSHA compliant.
Okay, so then a council member would attend those meetings with you?
No, they don't even attend the safety trainings. All they are is the mediator effectively between the city and the contractor to
Oh, in case we got some questions.
ensure that this is just operating. the way it's
Okay,
supposed
I'm
to.
just curious, I didn't know about it.
Yeah, Debbie did 99.9% of it.
Now that it's all set up, there's not even a whole lot that needs to be done. We just get the schedule from the MMUA. It works out. It's a pretty straightforward thing.
You volunteering, Jim?
Yeah, it's really time consuming.
I can handle it.
Okay. Kathy's interaction that needs to take place there as far as, all in favor of these,
I'll make a motion that we,
okay.
I'll make a motion that we appoint the positions that we had set.
And Joe White, I'll second that.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion,
You gotta say who's opposed.
opposed? None? And then this is what I mentioned, motion by Councilor Anderson, seconded by Councilor White. Motion carried. Thank you, everybody, for the assistance. And item 13, designate Economic Development Authority.
Move we designate the city council as the economic authority.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None? Motion by, motion by Mr. Lassie. All. Motion carries. Line item number 14. Appoint 2 ex-officio members of the Fire Relief Board.
I was on there and Terry was on there, so I'd like to stay on there.
I would like to get on there if I could. Can I not as a fire member?
I don't know. That's a good question. He's a current firefighter.
Is this for retired people then? How is that, what is that act, what is this act?
It's for the pension and stuff, so it might be a well, I don't know.
I mean,
It'd be a-
Yeah, my advice would be to appoint someone that's not a firefighter.
Yeah, that's why it says X.
because it would be a,
All right, I'll be on there. Make a motion to appoint Glenn and myself as XO members.
Discuss,
I'll second that.
second by Anderson, discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none. Motion passes. Item number 15, adopt 2023 holiday schedule.
Make a motion, we accept the adopted 2023 holiday schedule, and in the bottom, in addition, closing on the afternoon of the 7th and Good Friday.
I second that motion.
Discussion? None? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none? Motion carried. Councilman Anderson, second by Councilman White. Moving on to item number 16. Appoint 2 planning commissioners for the 3-year term ending in 12/31/2025.
Yeah, just for the council's information, there's 5 members on the commission. They serve a 3-year term. 2 of the members are up, Commissioner Fitzpatrick and Commissioner Young. Their terms are up. They have both applied, as has Andrea Zapancic.
I'll make a motion that we appoint Andrea Zupanti and John Fitzpatrick.
I'll second that motion.
Any discussion? Aye. Motion by,
Joe.
who seconded? Joe. Motion by Councilman Anderson, second by Joe White.
Like to just include a letter of thanks to Dave Lane for his years of service.
Yes.
Good. On something like that, we don't have to no action.
Yeah, you still have.
Just amend it. I'll just amend mine. Joe, you okay with adding water?
Yep.
Okay. So that just got, that, you added that to your motion,
Yeah.
Glenn?
Yeah.
Thank you. We have 2 library board members for a 3-year term ending in 12/31/25.
I would like to nominate Les Carson.
You have 2 spots there.
I'll second that. And any other candidates?
Yeah,
Oh,
John.
John.
I'm sorry, John, I didn't see that.
Sorry, John.
Both of those was my nomination, John and Les.
So you're amending your motion?
I amend my motion.
No, I just put them both in.
Yeah.
Second? Okay.
So now would be when you confirm that, because it'll help clarify for later.
Oh,
You made the
do that
first, you
right
made the
away.
second, yeah.
Motion by White, second by Lassie, to, for John Fitzpatrick and Les Parsons on the library board. Discussion? Hearing none? Roll call, that's a roll.
No.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Motion carried.
Motion carried. Appoint 1 Public Utilities Commissioner for 3-year term ending in 12/31/25.
I'll make a motion to appoint Richard Huvenen to the Public Utilities Commission.
I'll second that motion.
Discussion? Motion by Hoheisel, second by Lassie, or excuse me, by White, to appoint Richard Huvenen on the Public Utilities Commission. Favor?
Aye. I mean, it's roll call, I guess.
Was that a roll
No,
call?
it's
on
not
that
a
one?
roll call.
Okay, that's all right. You make me feel better, Paul.
I know.
I'm just kidding. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Appoint 1 member to the, appoint 2 members, line item 19, appoint 2 members to the Park and Recreation Advisory Committee for a 3-year term ending 12/31/25.
Just like to say, nobody applied.
Right, so with that being said, 2 existing members, I've spoke to 2 existing members, I've spoke to Andrea and to Misty, and I'm sure that they would like to keep their terms on there. They have to fill out an application, I understand, right?
Yes.
Yes, so, but until they apply, we
can't do nothing,
Can't do
right?
nothing. Table it till, I would make a motion, we table that till the next.
Dwayne, why didn't you talk to me?
No, they approached me. Well, are you interested, Terry, put an application? They approached me, you hadn't said nothing.
No, never mind.
We would love to have you back there, Terry,
No, that's fine. I
I'll
just want to
second.
make a point.
Glenn's.
Motion to
to
table.
table until we get some applications.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. Motion, so same thing? Motion is, do we have to go through a, okay.
Mayor, you can just table that on the agenda, you don't need to.
You have to do nothing, you just table it. So I guess the next recreation meeting will just have to be after that, Caitlin.
Okay.
After, as long as we don't have anything really pressing on that, on your agenda, you know? We'll just wait until after the next meeting, probably.
I can bring something to the council in the meantime, can't I?
Oh, sure,
Yeah,
sure.
okay.
Who's on the board right now?
Just Mike Yeager, just Mike Yeager.
And
Mike Jagger and then you two.
Yep.
So with three, that is an agenda.
Oh, we have a quorum.
We have a quorum.
Yes, we do. Okay.
That one I
Oh,
And the mayor was
So Kate-
earlier in the
He resigned, but then he took it up
Right.
as a city.
Okay.
So Caitlin, if you felt the need to still have a meeting like tomorrow or whenever you feel
Yeah.
between now and then, because Joe, Mike and I would make a quorum, we could have a meeting.
Okay.
So that's,
Okay.
we'll leave that up to your discretion, you just let us know.
Okay,
Okay?
all right.
Okay. Number 20, appoint one member to the Public Safety Committee for a 3-year term ending 12/31/2025.
I make a motion that we nominate Terry Svedajewski.
Second.
Make a fine candidate for that job.
Motion on the table by White, seconded by Hoheisel, to appoint Terry Svedajewski to Public Safety. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you.
Motion carries. Deletions, item number 21. Any additions and deletions? I do have one myself, if I may. February 4th, the Ely High School is playing Bagley at 2 o'clock at the Babbitt Arena, which they try to do every year, and it seems to be a pretty popular day there. They get a lot of people who come by. After that, we've been approached, the Wounded Warriors hockey organization would like to play 2 exhibition games in the Babbitt Arena following the Ely High School game. And the first game would be against they have an A team and a C team. And the first game would be the Wounded Warrior C team against the Ely Chicks with Sticks. Okay? Now that would be at 2 o'clock. No, excuse me. The high school game is at 2. The second game, the Wounded Warrior C team and the Chicks with Sticks would be at 4 o'clock. And the Wounded Warriors A team would play at 6 o'clock against the Ely Rusty Blades, which will probably turn out being a very good hockey game. I would like to ask the council their opinions about us contributing the ice time to a very good cause. This is a fundraiser. These guys that are all combat veterans that play in the hockey game, and I think they have to be a Purple Heart to actually play. I mean, to be part of that team. Don't quote me, maybe some of them won't, but I know they're all combat vets. And what they do is they raise money for their comrades that are that are in worse condition than they are. And I think it's a good opportunity for our community. It would be a good kick for the community club. They'll get all the concessions for that.
Mayor, I'd like to step in here.
Sure.
You need to add this as an addition, you're broadcasting and talking. You need to add this as an addition.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Whether or not it's on there, you need to place it on the agenda, which would probably go under.
New business A.
Business A,
All right.
yeah. And
sorry.
at that point, you could,
So I'd like to add on the additions, Wounded Warriors Hockey, February 4th.
place it under.
accept the consent agenda with,
I need to clarify the minutes, which I will point out. Of the cardboard shed rather than the recycle shed, because the recycle shed is open. Just to clarify that, the whole wall of wax is open, so I would just like the hours of the recycle shed to be the cardboard recycle shed. So that's that.
it'll confuse the public.
Yeah. This was our intent, was to alter the hours of the cardboard shed and not the recycle shed. So I would move with that correction.
I'll amend my motion to add that correction.
I'll second that. No, sorry.
I'll second it. So motion by Lassie, do I start with motion? Motion by Hoheisel, second by Lassie to amend.
Consent agenda along with the amendment.
Okay. Consent, a second, so it's consent agenda and the amendment to it. Discussion? Roll call on that?
It involves money for the payroll.
Oh, yeah, okay, roll call?
Anderson.
Yes.
Hoheisel.
Yes.
Lassie.
Yes.
White.
Yes.
Lossing.
Yes. Attorney's report, item 23.
Mayor, the only thing I have is to wish everyone a happy new year.
Unfinished business. Upgrade of fitness center and moving of teen center.
So I got the numbers that everybody wanted for the fitness center move. I have the sheet with the shopping list and then the quotes for the security gate if we move to the stage. Do you guys want to see?
They have it.
Oh, you guys all have it?
Yeah,
Okay.
included.
All right, so, total cost of the equipment is about $10,800, and then the security gate. So a partition was astronomically, it was crazy expensive, so we went with security gate instead. And so there's two options we can do with the security gate across, or we could mount TVs and keep, games and Xboxes and all that behind a security gate on just a portion of the stage. That would be cheaper. And then the pool tables and the air hockey, foosball would be accessible to anybody that was in the gym.
Has any of this went through the advisory board? I know your advisory board has been up in the air.
Yeah, they had.
Since, has it been approved by them for your?
It was, that
Actions
was
here?
why it came to the council initially.
We approved for Caitlin to approach the council with the idea, and now she's been doing the pursuit and coming up with the information, which I think give you kudos for.
Well, Kirsten has helped quite a bit.
Both you guys, good
Yes.
job. One thing, I have a question, Caitlin. Will this move affect the ability for us to still have a stage?
Yes.
We will still be able to have a Little Miss Babbitt pageant or a
No,
band?
it will affect
It
the
will
stage.
affect it.
Yes, it absolutely will. But we also have the auditorium at the school as a community to use as stage. Stage was used last year.
No, I don't think it was,
Yeah.
but that doesn't mean there won't be.
On Memorial Day, the veterans and the people for Memorial Day, if it's raining, we use the auditorium, the
stage.
gym, the stage. We use all that for
Okay, so we
Memorial.
could not go to, but the issue there is that any other room we have for the teen center is quite small. However, as you know, the teen center has been closed and no one is applying for the job. I would like to try to save it, but I don't want to pour a whole lot more money into the fixing up any of the rooms that we do have. I don't want to pour a whole lot more money into the teen center before we can prove that people want to use it.
Caitlin, after this meeting, would you have time, if Joe would have a few minutes, since he's gonna be on board with you and I, can we walk down there and kind of get a visual, and maybe we could do a little brainstorming on make it work and still, and I know already that that's just not gonna be possible, but I still haven't got a picture of how this is gonna look.
Right.
I mean, just personally, I haven't been on the stage.
So the stage, I mean, there's already fitness equipment all over it, so anytime it's used, that is moved. So
Right.
we could move, teen center equipment if it was up there. Some of it's heavier than the equipment that's up there, but would be about the same size job if we wanted to use the stage. However, part of the stage would not be accessible because we have the gate, but we can always open it. So it would be a big job to make the stage accessible, but if it's 1 or 2 times a year, I think it would be
Well, the city, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, I mean, when everything came to this building, gym was used periodically for wedding dances and different functions where it hasn't seemed like that's been the case so much of the recent years, but not to say it might be, where someone might want to put a band up there and have a wedding dance or something like that, and that's just the only...
I think this adds, so personally, I think it adds a feature to the gym that we rent out because you'll have the pool tables, the foosball tables, the air hockey table. You won't have the stage, but you will have something else that could be rented out for public use in addition to the gym. So that's kind of the draw for me.
Okay, no, I hear that. So if you'd be willing that we could
Yeah.
do a little, Joe, would you be available after the meeting? A little bit?
I might, depends when we get out of here.
Okay, we'll see.
Costs might go up for some of this equipment if we don't order it currently, FYI, because this is, a lot of this is
Have you
a
guys,
special on sale.
My question would be, is this in your budget? This
Yes.
10,000?
Well, it wasn't planned in the budget, however, we have this at the end of the year.
We have the money available.
We do, and we also have a donation from Zook North Realty for $1,000 towards this project as well.
Something that was brought up a couple of meetings ago by the city council members is who's tables now. I mean, that's a pretty big task, and I believe it was mentioned that might be some costly to get someone in the room. So, I mean, I support where you're going, but I think we're missing some key things
Yeah,
here
we don't
before we
have
do
the
that.
quote to move the pool tables. I guess, I know we have rollers that we move heavy stuff with, furniture, but I'm not saying that it doesn't need to be perfectly level, but we were talking about the teen center here, so, we would I have a level, and maybe there's some more research that needs to be done there, but, yeah, I don't know how much the cost will go up, because there is quite a bit of equipment here. Most of it is on sale, so if we don't move to do it, and I just want to get you guys all thinking how the people that have been working on it and myself are thinking. Wanted to do a promo for January where if you sign up for the whole year and you pay $250, you get $50 off for the year. So that could help, some of the costs up front if people were willing to do that, because there has been feedback from community members about the raise in fees for the fitness center, and people want to see that change some of the new equipment sooner than later, or they might just decide to not go to the fitness center anymore.
so we have already raised the fees before changing the...
We did, correct, yes. I also wanted to move that we offer a discount for senior 60 plus, $5 as well.
Question I got, a year or two ago, what was the numbers for the teen center? And then all of a sudden, the kids just dropped off to zero? I mean, something had to have happened that the kids are not utilizing that area anymore.
I don't have the numbers
And I'd
from a
really
year
like
ago.
to find that out, and we can't just,
I don't have the numbers from a year ago. But I did go about a month ago or less and talk to the teens at the high school and get some feedback, and they wanted to see a person working there. That was their biggest concern. And then they just, one of them expressed interest in having their own committee, and they come up with ideas, and then we just facilitate that. But yeah, the staffing was a big issue for them, and then just the people that, the environment, I guess.
I just can't envision our teen center up on a stage. It's hard for me to envision that. I know we have 2 rooms right now where they are, and can we flip-flop them? I mean, has the advisory board looked at that motion, or even put the pool table somewhere else? You know?
Well, that's another option. So the thing about flip-flopping rooms, they are completely different in size. We would lose at least half of our equipment from the current teen center if we put it into the current fitness center. At least. It would be much smaller. Is it doable? Yeah. However, but it would greatly reduce what we have as a teen center.
What about the senior citizen center? Seniors in the morning, teen center in the evening. As long as there's somebody watching it, I mean, can't they share that room? I mean, they already have 1 pool table, what's wrong with 2 in there?
Yeah, there's other options we could pursue. This was the greatest that I thought would work for everybody.
The stage.
Yeah, I know it sounds silly, but it's the most comparable in size, and it also offers that open gym option for the teen center while they're in there. And the stage, it sounds like maybe gets used twice a year.
Is the stage, the platform on top, even adequate to hold the pool table, the heavy pool table? Slate one, I mean, it's just...
Well, I didn't go that far as to check the sturdiness of the floor. Yeah, I can.
You're gonna have to.
Yeah.
The old library, not library, the old cafeteria area, you guys are probably, there's the old cafeteria area, that's no longer being used.
Ruby's Pantry.
Yeah, and is there still heat in there? What else is it being used for?
The police department just moved into it.
I'm sorry, Tony.
The police department just moved into a good half of it.
Half of it?
Yeah.
So that must leave a pretty big space if they're only using half, I would think. That was a big room.
It's not, because the other half is broke down into a couple of spaces where we have that other small stall that we rented.
And it would probably be thousands in renovations just to get that room in condition. If you look at it, I've been in there, I've looked, yeah, it would be more expensive to get that room up to par.
Yeah, so also that space would need complete sheetrock flooring,
The loading
all
dock
that,
room.
if you're gonna use it on a regular basis.
Okay, just a thought.
It's in pretty tough shape.
Just thought that was a bit,
So the one half that has the floor drain in it, we've actually moved a couple of squad cars in there, because they were in the cold storage garage, up at the city garage. Well, how much better for them to have it here, obviously. So.
When did that happen? When did they move in there?
A long time ago. It was
Really?
like 2 years ago that we did that.
How come the council was never made aware of that?
You approved it.
We voted on it.
You approved it, yep.
Oh.
Ramp that we built into there.
And then the one for canine and the one for...
but so there's 2, yeah, that's different. So,
It sounds like we're gonna table it.
well,
I would really like to see this back down to the board with some kind of firm, positive notion where all this stuff will go for safety reasons and occupancy and the stage, I don't know. I'd like to see,
so we can walk around and we can visualize, and I know you've already done this, but I think some of we need to get up to speed to where you are so we can be in the same mindset you are.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Terry?
I'm surprised the council brushed by Paul's idea of combining that with the senior citizens so quick, just saying.
well,
I think it needs to get tabled and put back, so there's a little more.
Well, as long as you're gonna keep, explore that option.
The one question I have, and I guess this would be an attorney and our, we're talking of putting in free weights in there. Anybody that's lifting has to have a spotter. Are we opening ourselves up with free weights that somebody just goes in and starts lifting and they drop it on them? I mean,
I'm not sure of the legal point of it, but when people sign up for the fitness center, they do sign like a waiver of liability.
yeah, but that only goes so far.
I know at the YMCA and some of the other gyms that I've attended, of course, there's lots of free weights. There's no supervision in the room. That doesn't mean to say there's someone that sits at the front desk that, but they don't come back and.
Doesn't seem like it's ever available for them, and that's why I think with COVID, the drop happened. We had kids come in all the time. There's nothing there for them. There's no draw. You gotta grab those kids and bring them in.
I did go talk to the kids.
And that just drives up costs
I'm not gonna say the state didn't work.
No, well,
Wants to know, has some legitimate issues.
I
Can the
wanna-
state?
No,
solve it?
they are legitimate.
So, in the situation that we wanted to bring in, so say me and Joe are on the advisory committee.
If you want to bring
Posted for today.
Yeah, but I have to email.
Yeah.
I only sent it to Mike Jager because I didn't know who was going to be on the board, so.
Yeah, so you probably need to contact.
I will contact
Yeah,
Mike
very
Jager.
good. Okay,
It's
moving
on
on.
my list.
Thank you, everybody. Senior citizen discount for fitness center.
Yeah, that was,
Yeah, we'll kind of put that right in that other basket right there, so. Revamp promotional rates, January only, again, same thing. Okay, B, Wyver's internet quotes for the campground.
For all of us. 24B.
What's wrong there? Zito the best.
Zero,
Best. After, I'd like to thank Kirsten for taking this head on and giving us actually a spreadsheet here. But what we have right now out of the three, I would make the motion that we go with the Zito media. And that would be a motion.
what's your motion?
Zito, out of the ones that we have. Jason, you look at this also.
I did look at it. I had a few small questions. Just the one thing, you know, I'm not a wireless internet expert by any means.
I'll second.
Glenn's motion, so we can talk about
I
it.
didn't hear what Glenn's motion was. To go with Zito. So motion on the table by Councilman Anderson, seconded by Councilor Hoheisel, to go with Zeta Media in, any discussion?
I'd like to hear what you were
Joe?
saying.
Sure. The city asked me to look at what was submitted, and I did. The one question I had was, it did appear that the Zito was your best option, but it was a 3-year contract. And my only question is there a cancellation penalty? And the reason I ask that is it seems like, you know, the way wireless internet, satellite internet is going, is there maybe better option out there in 1 or 2 years? So if you were to change directions, would there be a cancellation if you terminated the contract prior to 3 years? That would be my only question. Maybe it's not as big a concern. That was the only thing I did notice. Because other than that, there wasn't a large commitment. It was just they're installing the equipment and you're paying a monthly fee for the service.
I know Midco is gonna put in fiber optic next year. But it's, as far as I know, it's not running out that far. So that would be the only other one that I know of, you know, and they're just coming into town. So that would be a question, it's a good question, but
And the other one
I
I'm
think
aware of,
we wanna get this in place so we can open the door. So unfortunately, I would still stay with the Zito, even though we're into a 3-year contract.
And
'Cause
Zito
they're-
did say that because they're only proposing 2 towers or poles essentially, they said if, like, you realize it doesn't work, it's just $400 to install another pole if you want even
if we can-
further access for it.
There's no way they can actually, I do a lot of this, going to these RV parks, I have a bit, but we do a lot of that all summer long. And I'm gonna tell you right now that the internet on most of those parks suck. I'm not against paying a little bit more money to make sure that our park that we spent $5.5 million on has good internet service. I'm not saying we need to go with CTC, but if we need to have 4 towers or 5 towers, is there anybody we can do to just do that now at one time?
So on that, I walked the park with those guys and talked about their repeaters that they wanted to put in and the 2 different repeaters and how expandable the system is. And I think they're right on the mark that they just want to put these 2 in. And then there's a base at the building as well with the 2 outliers. And like they said, if they need to add something, they can. It's not a big deal. I still think they're the way to fly. If our internet is not up to par, we can easily expand on it for a minimal cost.
I just want to hear it's been tested, thank you.
We're used to change orders.
And until they put it in and we actually get some people down there, we won't be able to test it, so.
Correct. Yeah, so that was the big thing is the download speed with multiple users based on the distance from repeated towers, but they think that they have enough coverage with those 2 that it'll be adequate.
That should be.
Thanks, Tony.
Okay, we have any more discussion? Any motion on the table? Motion by Glenn, second by Paul. All in favor? Oh, this is one, roll call.
Anderson.
Yes.
Hoheisel.
Yes.
Lassie.
Yes.
White.
Yes.
Lossing.
Yes. Thanks, Tony. reports. Moving on to new business. Yep, and the Warrior hockey game, which I pretty much explained to everybody already. I think if anybody needs to hear anything more about it, just speak up.
We gotta make a motion, second it, then you can discuss it.
I'll move we allow for this activity with the Wounded Warrior and that we waive any arena fees associated with it.
Second that. Motion by Lassie, seconded by White to allow the Wounded Warriors to come in and do a fundraiser at the Babbitt Arena with us donating the ice time.
What day was that?
That's on February 4th.
Okay.
And the hours would be high school game at 2, first Wounded Warrior game at 4, and second Wounded Warrior game at 6. Now, I called Erica yesterday to get hold of her from the figure skating club to let her know, this is gonna affect the Saturday night open skate, but I think we can see if they'd like to adjust their schedule and do a noon skate that day, or whatever we need. They're gonna benefit big time on the concession.
Rec department gonna be able to handle it with Zamboni and the ice and having that much activity up at the
We already
arena?
did a tournament,
She's
yeah.
got this, she did, I would have to say.
John help you yet?
No, not yet.
John Jeanette?
No.
She took care of the last tournament I put on by herself and did an excellent job. I'd like to give her kudos for that. And a lot of the other stuff that she's been doing and digging up stuff and coming up with ideas, and it's been a breath of fresh air to have her.
Thank you.
Okay, so this does include money, I guess, because we're so, roll call?
Anderson?
Yes.
Hoheisel?
Yes.
Lassie?
Yes?
White?
Yes.
Lossing?
Yes. Thank you, guys.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Well, one last thing I'm gonna throw in here before.
You can't do that.
Can't do this on the council
Oh,
minutes.
huh? Should have put it on the, okay. Thanks, Mayor and Terry.
I need a motion to adjourn.
I did.
Second.
What? I meant to bring that up earlier. To
Oh.
you guys for everything all the service that you gave us.
Thank you.
Yes. It's not gonna be easy to fill your shoes, I can tell you that. Aye. All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned. Opposed? Aye. Meeting adjourned.
Nobody will ever oppose a meeting.
Thanks for all the help, guys. It's gonna be a stumble and trying to do it.